So here, somebody is saying with related to the fate karma and other thing. The karma is related to the circumstances, not related to yourself. So, if you have some karma, for example, according to your karma, you should not have any food today. So here they will not do anything for you. The karma will close the restaurant itself. No restaurant will be there today. You will be placed in a state where no restaurant. So that only. But at the same, whenever some restaurant is there, you will select some restaurant. It will be limited. So only related to the circumstances alone, related to the karma. The karma will have the circumstances, but that is different. That is not in our hand. So karma is different, but whether we relate it or not, that doesn't different. But in our hand, our free will is there. To the possible extent, we can make use of a free will. In a given circumstance, you can wholeheartedly use your free will.
But is there there is no one to choose.
Choose means some two restaurants are there. You can choose one restaurant. It is in your hand. For that, you may have some thought.
Yeah.
The thought happens on its own. You are not creating the thought. Yeah. But at the same time, the selection of thought is in your hand. So some conscious, even though some unconscious thought happens, and the conscious mind is in your hand. The conscious selection is in your hand. So that part, you can, with the help of that part, you can select some thought. And that thought, one thought may say, I won't go to the first restaurant. The second thought may say the second restaurant. And after the two choices, the conscious part can select one choice, one thought. And by that we can so.
So is it that there's an experience of I am, which is a thought, and I can use that I am thought to choose because it's the external world. There is work to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
But is it really free? Like this selection, the moment all these choices are there, and I need to can make any choice. What will determine if I want to go with one or two or three? Even not.
So, in a given period, situation alone, for example, we have some thoughts, unconscious thought. For example, one thought may say, I can say the first restaurant. The other thought may say like the second restaurant. Or the third one thought may say, we have to reject both the restaurant, we can find out new restaurant. Right. But out of that, you may select some portion of yourself. That has the choice. But you have to select within the three.
How? But this choice, how it happened? It happened with another thought. No? It's not another thought that comes and say, I choose this?
Not here, even though it is thought happen unconsciously, but doing it consciously.
Consciously still with the thought, no?
Consciously with the already happened thought. The previously three thoughts have happened, and out of that, so the new thought is doing consciously with related to the previous thoughts.
Okay, so this thought that after these three choices came, and this new thought that comes after, do I have control of this thought?
So it has the choice because it functions in a conscious way. It is not, even though it is happening unconsciously, it functions in a conscious way. So that is the quality of conscious existence. Because it has some conscious, has a selection. You can select something.
Yeah. That selecting part you call as the intellect,
because we are consciously taking into all account, and you can select something. But the other thought, it comes, it will create some suggestion. But this alone, we deal with other thoughts. We select something in a conscious way.
But it feels like even this conscious way, I cannot control the thought that will come consciously. Like, who is it that really says you choose this or bring this thought that consciously say go to that and not go to this?
So here, even though each and every moment a new thought has come unconsciously, but when it reaches the outer layer, then only it has the conscious role. When we are in the conscious role, we are having some conscious responsibility to select something, so maintaining something. So if it does not have any conscious role to select anything, even though it happens the selection itself unconscious, we cannot say like this. But the selection is conscious. But the happening may be unconscious. But the selection of this conscious thought is the selection is in a conscious way. Because apart from that, we discuss, we take into consideration of many things, and we consciously come to a conclusion. But everything comes unconsciously. But here, some part is unconscious. We know we are not deliberately come to a conclusion without analyzing anything. It happens naturally. But here we are sit down and take into account of many things, and we deliberately having some discussion with ourselves, and we come to a conclusion. So we have to have some difference between the earlier thought and this discussing thought. The discussing thought may happen unconsciously, but doesn't matter. But anyway, some discussion is there. And the discussion we can take as a free will or anything. And for that free will, we can choose any work. But even though this free will is not useful with related to the psychological world. In the physical, we can use this free will to the external world.
This is directly related to the article you wrote about thought and thinking. Is that idea?
No, we can term it as thought and thinking. But here in the name of conscious and unconscious, something we can take it as a unconscious happening, and the another one is the conscious doing.
Since it is related to the external world.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm still not clear about this, and it's an important question, whether I have free will in the external world. There's thoughts, psychological world, no free will. I have some choices of restaurants, some thoughts unchosen come about as restaurants. This one is good, bad experience there. And then you're saying, I have some conscious freedom to select one. But it still feels like I'm still acting on conditioning, that my choice is caused by, that there's no chooser. I can't get around this issue that there is no one here that can choose. It's just ongoing appearances coming and going. I can't see where there is the freedom and who is free to choose. So I feel like there is no free will in the external. It might feel free. I don't have the illusion I'm making a choice, but I don't think it is ultimately free. Have I misunderstood?
So here, in the psychological world is also concerned, you have the free will. With the free will alone, you are struggling with yourself. So, if you do not have any free will, you will not struggle. So, you use the free will for your struggle within the psychology. So, even though we have some free will, we have to dismiss the free will. In the psychological world is concerned, some free will is there. Then only with the help of the free will alone, we select some emotion and we want to reject some emotion. But here, the use of free will is creating some problem. But at the same time, the same free will, whether it is coming out of some conditioning or not, to that extent, if you name it as a free will, or yes, conditionally free will, you can, for your convenience, you can make it as a conditionally free will. May use, may take, you may take for the external use. If you are interested to impose some condition, you can, with a conditionally free will, you can make use of that.
Okay. So when I'm struggling in my internal world, I'm choosing this feeling and rejecting that feeling. That's a use of free will, and with preferences.
Yeah.
And to get rid of that, stop using that free will, is actually liberating, ironically.
So here, we have the psychological world is concerned, if you understand no free will is there, that means even free will is also a natural one. So it is coming naturally. Even though it comes as in the name of free will, it is not at all a free will, it is also natural happening. If you think like that, there is no conscious free will. It can be considered as unconscious free will.
Okay.
So, if I try to summarize for myself, so what you're saying, understanding, then we say in general we have our free will is conditioned. So you can call it free will or not free will. It's a conditioned kind of free will, but internally this conditioned free will just make us struggle. Then we just this understanding help us understand that this free will is not really a free will, and it just remove all this burden and struggle inside. And outwardly, we still use this conditioned free will to act in this way.
Yeah.
This is a close association with the legal thing, when prisoners are allowed to go on a conditional bail for a limited period. So it's reminding me of that.
So, any action that I do in the external world, I don't need to take so much responsibility on it. Like when it happens, I do the best I can, but if it went for not turn out the way I wanted, or I could choose different, I can take it as a conditioned view. It wasn't really my choice, or I don't really take responsibility for it. Is it?
For external world is concerned?
Or external world.
So here, anyway, we have to use some words to give some meaning. So here, whatever it be, if you use the word free will, then alone everything will be correct. If you use the word no free will means, then there cannot be any responsibility on our part. We have to have some responsibility. So the word free will is alone is the good word. So no free will is not, it does not serve any good thing. So using the free will alone is good. But the psychological alone, the using free will is not good. So the using the free will, the word, it is good related to the external world. So here also our karma problem is, unless we take some responsibility on our own, how could we impose any karma upon ourselves? So, as we are consciously doing some bad act or bad deed, then only somebody has to give a punishment or reward for that. So, That also calculated with the transaction due to the free will. The free will alone participate the transaction. If you do not have any free will, no punishment or reward is possible. So karma is based upon the free will. If you do not have any free will, no karma is there. So so as we are doing some karma, that means we are having some will. We have some free will. Then only the karma is there. Our actions are there. But here, in the psychological world is concerned, the free will is meaningless. So we have to eliminate the word free will. So it is a happening. When everything is a happening, there is no doing, there is no free will. So that is related to this psychological world, the elimination of free will is good. But in the external world is concerned, we have to take it as a free will. We have to consider it to be the free will.
What is the freedom from karma? If as long as there is free will, we are karma keep accumulating.
So here, in the common, in the ordinary world, for somebody has done a crime, and the government has is giving a punishment for that. But here, according to the cosmic law, some way of for our act, for good act, we have some good situation, or bad act, bad situation. But here, the intention of the cosmic law is different, not to having any punishment. For that, in the day-to-day life, for example, if somebody has been imprisoned, and the criminal will know why he was punished like this, because he had done a bad deed, and for that he was imprisoned. He will punish him. He understands the reason for his punishment. But in the karma, or we know about the reason for our punishment or reward. We are not aware of any relationship between the cause and the effect. But here it is given like that only to help the liberation. For example, somebody are in distress, some problem, we are facing some problem, in the external world, and thereby we got some agony or anything. But at the same time, with the help of the problem and with the help of the agony, we got enlightenment. So, can we say the agony is good or bad? Can we say the situation is good or bad? So because it gives some good result. Out of that, some bad situation may be there, some bad emotion may be there, but it creates some good result. So here, the bad situation may be it may be related to our bad karma, but the aim is that whatever it may be, it aims to take you to the good result. So, even though the karma is there, some bad situation may be there, the intention behind that is to lead us to a better place. So, we have to, whether the karma is there or not, whatever we have to be in a position, whatever we are be in a situation, we have to make use of the situation in a right way, in a positive way. Then it will help for our progress. So whenever we reach a point where psychologically we are free, we don't mind the situation, we don't mind the response out of the situation. So we can do the good thing to the possible extent, and psychologically we are free. Whether we are in a bad situation or good situation, some psychological response will be there, but we don't mind the response itself, because nothing will help. Because we are always in a situation where no help is necessary. Because we are always safe. When we are having the liberation, we are free from everything. So when we are free from everything, the rule of karma is not in use. So the rule of karma is only to the ordinary people, but not for the liberated people. So he is free from everything. But related to the normal people, it may help to the extent of liberation, extent of understanding. For that we can make use of any circumstances in a positive way.
The liberated man doesn't choose or doesn't have free will and have consequences.
So for example, if an enlightened person was placed in an unwanted situation, he will have some psychological response. Some unnecessary emotion may come, but he don't mind that. He does not want to free from any psychological stress or anything. Some psychological stress he may have, but he don't mind the stress. He give freedom to everything when everything is in the flowing state. So whatever is in the flowing state, that alone is the important thing. But what has come is not important. But whether there is a flowing or not is the important.